The boxing world has been rocked by breaking news. Gervonta "Tank" Davis has been taken into federal custody over allegations of match fixing in his controversial fight against Lamont Roach Jr. Just days after rumors of an investigation began circulating, authorities have escalated the situation, placing Davis in federal remand. The allegations stem from suspicious betting patterns and irregularities in the fight's outcome, raising questions about the integrity of the bout. With the case now under official scrutiny, the boxing community is left in shock, awaiting further developments as the investigation unfolds.
The commission gets this right. It was a bummer not being declared the winner on a technicality that could be righted, that wrong could be righted, obviously.
It all started with reports suggesting that the referee in charge of the fight, Steve Willis, has provided key information supporting claims that the bout was manipulated. Fans and analysts have been questioning how the fight ended in a majority draw, despite Lamont Roach Jr. seemingly doing enough to secure the victory. Now, with federal authorities stepping in, it appears those suspicions were more than justified. As the investigation deepens, all eyes are on Roach, who may finally get the justice he deserves in what could be one of boxing's biggest scandals.
I think Lamont Roach, he landed more punches throughout the fight. I think Tank was used to, figuring it out, having that slow start, figuring it out around the third, fourth round.
From the moment the final bell rang, controversy swirled around the result. Roach had outworked Davis in several rounds, with many believing he had done enough to secure a clear victory. But then came the pivotal ninth round, the moment that raised red flags. In a shocking turn, Davis took a knee in the middle of the action, something no one expected. Referee Steve Willis initially appeared to start a count, but midway through, he suddenly changed his mind, waved it off, and ruled it not a knockdown. That single decision altered the entire outcome of the fight. Had Willis counted it as a knockdown, Roach would have won the round 10-8, potentially giving him the edge on the scorecards. Instead, with the call favoring Davis, the fight ended in a draw, leaving Roach stunned and fans outraged. Now, with federal authorities investigating, that controversial moment may hold the key to uncovering the truth behind this alleged match-fixing scandal.
What's your thoughts when you first heard it?
That they wasn't going to overturn it?
Yeah.
I mean, I expected that. I don't really see them doing that. Tank is too big of an attraction. New York, I felt like
Davis's explanation for taking the knee was bizarre, to say the least. He claimed that his hair had been freshly styled with too much grease, and when he started sweating, it dripped into his eyes and burned, forcing him to kneel. The excuse was met with widespread disbelief, with fans calling it one of the most ridiculous justifications ever given by a fighter. Critics were quick to point out that fighters deal with sweat and even blood in their eyes all the time, yet none simply decide to kneel in the middle of a fight. Roach himself was furious after the bout, stating, "If you take a knee, that's a knockdown. That's just the rules. The ref started counting, so why did he stop? They stole this from me." His team wasted no time filing an official complaint with the New York State Athletic Commission, demanding a full review of the fight and the officiating. But the controversy didn't end there. As more details emerged, suspicions grew, fueling what is now becoming one of the biggest scandals in modern boxing.
He take a knee. You need to lose like 10-8 that round at least, no? And plus the corner go up and put a towel in the face. That's disqualification. For sure. I'm talking about the rule.
Even more troubling was a chilling comment Davis allegedly made to Roach on the night of the fight. He reportedly told him, "They ain't going to give it to you." At the time, many assumed he was referring to the usual politics of boxing, where the A-side fighter often gets the benefit of the doubt on the scorecards. But now, in light of the match-fixing allegations, that statement has taken on a far more sinister meaning. Did Davis already know how the fight would end before it even started? Was the result predetermined? These burning questions have now escalated the situation into a full-blown federal investigation, shaking the boxing world to its core.
I thought I won the fight. clearly. I thought I won a close fight. I thought I won a very competitive fight.
Okay.
I'm not saying I steamrolled him or whatever.
The feds got involved after Roach's legal team brought in high-profile attorneys who pushed for a deeper investigation into the fight's result. They pointed out suspicious betting activity leading up to the fight, with an unusual amount of money being placed on a draw. A draw is one of the least common outcomes in boxing, so the fact that so much money was being placed on it raised major red flags. Investigators started looking into whether inside information had been leaked to bettors who knew ahead of time that the fight would end in a draw. And then came the biggest bombshell, the revelation that referee Steve Willis had provided key information to.
It would have been a knockdown, one. So that's why I'm yelling at the referee, like, keep counting, like, you tripping, keep counting, that's a knockdown. Because if y'all didn't notice, he started it.
Roach was adamant in the aftermath, saying, it should have been a knockdown. That's why I was yelling at the referee, like, keep counting. You trippin', keep counting. That's a knockdown. If y'all didn't notice, he started the count. While the full details of what referee Steve Willis told authorities haven't been made public, sources indicate that he confirmed there were external influences affecting his decisions during the fight. That revelation was enough for federal agents to take action, leading to Davis's arrest. The arrest sent shockwaves through the boxing world. While Davis has had his fair share of legal troubles in the past, this could be the most serious situation of his career. Now, with the investigation in full swing, the question remains, how deep does this scandal go, and who else might be involved?
He wasn't coming to lay down. I've been knowing Lamont since we was kids, so we came up in amateurs together. So I knew Lamont was serious. He was coming.
If the allegations are proven true, Davis could be facing more than just a suspension from boxing. He could be hit with criminal charges that carry serious prison time. Boxing insiders are already speculating about how this could impact his career. Some believe this might mark the beginning of the end for Davis, while others think his promotional team, led by Al Heyman and premier boxing champions, will do everything in their power to protect him and keep him fighting. But even if he manages to avoid legal trouble, the damage to his reputation may be irreversible. The stain of a match-fixing scandal is something few fighters ever recover from, and the boxing world will be watching closely to see if Davis can escape this storm, or if this is the moment that brings his career crashing down.
Like when my back is against the wall or against the ropes, it's like, it's time to show up. So it wasn't really hard for me to focus because all I had to do was...
Social media has exploded with reactions to the news, with fighters and boxing personalities wasting no time weighing in. Devin Haney, one of Davis's biggest rivals, took a shot at him on Twitter, saying that first, he faked injuries to duck fights, and now he's fixing fights, questioning how anyone could still support him. Oscar de la Hoya, a longtime critic of Davis, also chimed in, stating that he had been saying for years that Tank was protected and that the truth always comes out. Even veteran boxing analyst Teddy Atlas, known for his no-nonsense takes, didn't hold back, calling the situation a disgrace to the sport. As the controversy continues to unfold, the boxing world is left questioning just how deep this scandal runs and whether Davis's career can survive the fallout.
I saw the negativity and people, critics talking, but I think he's one hell of a fighter, and I think he's still the...
To make matters worse, Davis's name has now been removed from several boxing rankings, with Ring Magazine officially dropping him from their pound-for-pound list and replacing him with David Benavidez. The backlash is already having real-time consequences on his career, and if the investigation uncovers further evidence, things could spiral even further. There's already speculation that the New York State Athletic Commission may revisit the fight result and potentially void it entirely, which could mean Roach being declared the rightful winner. If that happens, Davis would not only lose his status as one of the top fighters in the sport but could also see his championship belt stripped, dealing a devastating blow to his legacy.
Reverse the result of your fight.
Yeah.
Should they reverse the result of that fight as well?
Just depends. Like if that changes the whole fight, if that gives Roach a victory, give him the victory. That's how you keep the integrity of the sport, right? That's why they suspended me, right? To keep the integrity of the sport.
As Davis remains in federal custody, the biggest question now is whether he can clear his name or if this marks the downfall of his career. If prosecutors build a strong enough case, he won't just be facing a suspension from boxing, he could be looking at serious prison time. Comparisons to past controversies in the sport have already begun, with some pointing to Floyd Mayweather's alleged influence over judges and referees during his career. But unlike Mayweather, who never faced legal consequences, Davis could be in far deeper trouble. If the accusations are proven true, this could go down as one of the most shocking scandals in boxing history, potentially ending his time in the ring for good.
He caught me with a good shot, but it was times that I sat in there with him and I'm like, damn, this guy like super slow. Well, not super slow, but he's slow, and I could have took advantage of. I think I was boxing too much in the beginning, and when I feel like
Gervonta Davis is in deeper trouble than anyone expected, and now the boxing world is divided on whether he can recover or if his career is beyond repair. One of his past opponents, Rolando Romero, seems to believe Davis can bounce back in a rematch, but his comments have sparked controversy. Speaking to The Ring, Romero claimed that Davis has the ability to adjust and win a potential rematch, adding that Roach's performance was so unexpected that even Roach himself might not have seen it coming. That statement alone raised eyebrows, as many questioned whether Romero was suggesting that Roach's success was simply luck. However, if there's one thing the boxing world seems to agree on, it's that Roach was the better fighter that night. It wasn't luck, and it certainly wasn't a fluke. Interview 13.
Lost that fight. I mean, the only reason they gave you the fight was because you would make more money as a champion, but there's no way it's a draw, and they didn't call it a knockdown. If they called a knockdown,
Roach outboxed Davis and would have won if not for the questionable officiating. But now, with Davis under federal investigation for match fixing, Romero's comments take on a whole new meaning. The way he described Roach's performance made it seem like a once-in-a-lifetime showing, something Roach could never replicate. But was it really? Roach didn't just land a few lucky shots, he controlled large portions of the fight, kept Davis uncomfortable, and exposed weaknesses that had never truly been tested before. Romero downplaying that could be his way of protecting his own loss to Davis. After all, if Roach, a fighter never considered elite, was able to trouble Davis that much, what does that say about Romero, who was knocked out in the 6th round of their fight in 2022?
People want to discredit Tank, he's still a pound-for-pound fighter.
Yeah. What do you think about that fight that happened? You thought it was just an off night, or?
Everybody has an off night. Everybody has an off night. Shit, I had a off night with Cruz.
Even more controversial was how Romero addressed the knee incident. None of the punches hit him, he said, referring to Davis's bizarre decision to kneel mid-fight. That statement alone is damning, considering Davis's claim that he went down because sweat dripped into his eyes. If a fellow boxer like Romero openly says that no punches landed, then the bigger question remains, why did Davis go down at all? And perhaps even more importantly, why did the referee begin the count only to suddenly stop? Romero himself admitted that if the knee had been ruled a knockdown, Davis would have lost the fight. That alone proves just how crucial that single moment was in determining the outcome. But let's be real, this controversy isn't just about one moment. It's about whether the entire fight was manipulated from the start.
Punches are being thrown, it has to be a knockdown. I've heard some people saying, oh, that, you know, he should be disqualified, he went back to the corner, I don't buy that, to be honest with you. I mean, I think that's a warning. But it's a bit of a bizarre situation. For me, like, there's a lot of people in boxing.
What Romero didn't say is just as important as what he did. He completely avoided mentioning that Davis is now at the center of a federal investigation into match-fixing allegations. He steered clear of the fact that Davis allegedly told Roach before the fight, *, they ain't going to give it to you. *, he ignored the growing speculation that the unusual betting patterns on a draw were more than just coincidence. Instead, he focused on the idea that Davis simply had a tough night and would make adjustments in a rematch. But how can Davis even think about a rematch when he might be facing criminal charges? That's the real question hanging over this entire situation.
You can't even see who it is. Hey, who is the dude? Who is the dude?
That right there.
Ryan Garcia, another past opponent of Davis, also weighed in on the rematch discussion. Speaking to ES News, Garcia said he believes Davis will win the second fight, claiming that Tank simply underestimated Roach and expected him to fold. But that raises an even bigger question: why did Davis expect Roach to fold? Most likely because he knew something the rest of US didn't. If Davis believed before the fight that the decision was already going to favor him, then of course he wouldn't have fought with the same urgency. He wouldn't have trained the same way. And that's exactly what played out in the ring. Davis fought as if he had nothing to worry about, as if the outcome was already set. He didn't take Roach seriously, and when Roach kept pressing forward, Davis looked confused, almost lost. It was one of the worst performances of his career, and Garcia's explanation that Davis was simply caught off guard doesn't fully add up.
You think it was a draw?
No.
You think Lamont won? Who you thought won?
Lamont.
You thought Lamont won? By how many rounds?
I don't know.
You still want to take Davis fight?
What makes this situation even messier is the fact that Roach and Davis had a $250,000 bet before the fight, with Davis wagering that he would knock Roach out. But when the fight ended in a draw, it was unclear whether Davis ever paid up. If he hasn't, that adds another layer to the controversy. Davis was willing to gamble six figures on an outcome that didn't happen, despite allegedly having inside knowledge of how the fight would go. That alone raises massive red flags. And if Davis truly believed he was going to get the knockout, why did he fight with such little urgency? Why did he take a knee? None of it makes sense unless you start looking at the bigger picture. The good news for Roach is that a rematch is already in the works, whether it happens in 2024 or 2025. Both sides have expressed interest in running it back, but the reality is that a rematch will only be fair if the corruption surrounding the first fight is fully exposed. If Davis is found guilty of match fixing, how can anyone trust that the second fight will be any different? And more importantly, should Davis even be allowed to fight again? If he manipulated the outcome of a professional fight, shouldn't he be banned from the sport entirely? The worst part about all of this is the damage it's doing to boxing as a whole. The sport is already struggling with bad judging, shady business deals, and fights that take years to make. Now, with a potential match-fixing scandal on its hands, boxing's credibility is being tested like never before.
I'll never see that fight happening again. It just will not happen. Gervonta Tank Davis doesn't like hard fights. It's that simple. We've seen it over and over. He fought a Ryan Garcia drained. He fought a very inexperienced Rolly Romero. He will not fight Devin Haney. He will not fight Shakur. He will not fight Pitbull Cruz.
He will not fight Pitbull Cruz again. And if one of the biggest names in the sport, Gervonta Davis, is caught in a match-fixing scandal, it will be a massive blow to boxing's already shaky credibility. This would be even worse than the long-standing controversies surrounding Floyd Mayweather's hand-picked opponents or Canelo Alvarez's questionable scorecards. This isn't just favoritism or biased judging, this is outright corruption. And if Davis is guilty, it exposes a much deeper problem within boxing that goes beyond just one fighter. Meanwhile, Davis is still trying to control the damage. Despite being in remand, his team is working overtime to shift the narrative, pushing the idea that this is just another case of Davis being unfairly targeted. But let's be real, Davis has been involved in too many controversies for this to simply be bad luck. From his past legal troubles to his multiple run-ins with the law, and now being under federal investigation, this is starting to look like a pattern. Boxing fans are growing tired of it. Right now, Davis is fighting two battles, one in the courtroom and one in the public eye, and he might not win either.
I'm not saying throw it enough.
Can you describe what the feeling was like in the ring? And was it to get the towel out, to get the burn out of your eyes, or what was going on? And
I didn't want to get caught. I didn't want to get caught while my eyes was burning, and like you can get knocked out like that. So I'd rather.
He's losing both. Even if he gets out and the rematch happens, his reputation is permanently stained. No matter what he does, there will always be an asterisk next to his name. And if he somehow manages to win the rematch, critics will just claim it was another fix. Meanwhile, Lamont Roach Jr. may have been robbed the first time, but he's won something even bigger, the public's respect. If there's one fighter who has come out of this situation looking better than ever, it's Roach. He was the underdog, the man who wasn't supposed to win, but he exposed one of boxing's biggest stars. And now, no matter what happens in the rematch, People will always remember the night he made Gervonta Davis look beatable.
Can't wait. You know it's time. Can't wait. Can't wait. You know it's time. Can't wait. You ready?
The rematch is nearly locked in, and this time, the stakes are even higher. After their controversial first fight, which ended in a majority draw, Lamont Roach Jr.'s promoter, Gary Jonas, has made it clear that negotiations are almost finalized. While he didn't reveal all the details, Jonas stated that the rematch is very close to being a done deal. In his words, "In my mind, it's a done deal, but there are formalities." That statement alone is enough to set the boxing world on fire. Fans are now waiting for an official announcement, but at this point, it seems inevitable the rematch is happening.
Nah, to be honest, I've already made it competitive, for real, to be honest. But for sure, Lamont is a great fighter. He got the skills like I...
Jonas also brought up a key factor that could change the outcome this time around: Davis's mindset. You got Gervonta, who's probably going to be angry, probably woken up, probably more focused. That's a major shift from where Davis was mentally before the first fight. He had been talking about retirement, acting like he had nothing to prove, and barely promoting the fight. But this time, with his undefeated record technically still intact but his aura of invincibility shattered, Davis has no choice but to come in fully locked in. Anything less, and Roach Jr. could do what he nearly did the first time, walk away with the WBA lightweight title.
He saw the mental breakdown of Tank. Like, again, if you got that elite level, why you know what you saw. He was intimidated by Roach, and it was like baffling to see. Why was he moving? Because to me, he was intimidated by Roach. To me...
Of course, it wouldn't be a Gervonta Davis fight without controversy. The first bout between these two wasn't just close, it was filled with questionable decisions, with the biggest one coming in the 9th round. That's when Davis unexpectedly took a knee, leading referee Steve Willis to start counting as if it were a knockdown. But after some pleading from Davis, Willis stopped mid-count and allowed the fight to continue. Had he finished counting, Roach Jr. would have won by unanimous decision and become the new champion. Instead, the fight went the distance and ended in a draw, an outcome that left Roach Jr. and his team furious.
Think about Tank. You can't count on Tank to get tired because his conditioning is out of this fucking world. He can fight 20, 30 rounds if he wants to. 12 rounds ain't shit. Tank can go. So, yeah, Lamont, he didn't do it.
Roach's team wasted no time filing an appeal with the New York State Athletic Commission, arguing that the knee should have been ruled a knockdown. The commission acknowledged that referee Steve Willis had made a mistake but ultimately refused to overturn the decision. That only fueled the controversy, confirming what many already suspected, that the system is rigged in favor of fighters like Davis. Roach Jr. took to social media to set the record straight, responding to rumors that he was suing over the result. Look man, I'm going to tell y'all straight up, I ain't sue nobody, STFU. My team submitted an appeal on my behalf. What does it look like not having a team that doesn't pull that trigger on some stuff they know is wrong? That post alone tells you everything about Roach Jr.'s mindset heading into the rematch. He believes he was robbed, and now he's coming back with even more motivation. The first time around, he wasn't supposed to stand a chance, just another name on Davis's resume. But now, he's the man who exposed Gervonta Davis. And this time, he's coming to finish the job. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates. See you in the next one.